Welcome to 3 Point View. We're drinking beer and talking sports. This is what we do. Got a little drama in the NBA. We got a little bad boy stuff going on right now. We got Zaza Pachulia throwing down on Mr.
Zaza Pachulia.
Russell Westbrook. What do you guys think of that?
Zaza is being labeled as a dirty player.
They showed all the clips of him. Have you seen them all?
He's done some dirty shit.
Remember the one just last year against San Antonio?
He's done some dirty things. Honestly, I don't think this was with intent to hurt Westbrook.
I think it was intent to slow
Are
him
you
down.
kidding me?
That's exactly what it
It
was.
wasn't even a good acting job.
No, it was a terrible acting job.
Oh, yeah.
He looked exactly where he wanted to fall, but I think it was his way of, hey, Russell's about to stay on the court an extra 32 seconds while we head
Run a fast break.
Exactly. I don't think it was intentional to hurt him. I think it was a smart play, actually. Dirty, kind of. Smart, absolutely.
It was dirty to the outsider looking in and his past history, but I completely agree. I think it was he slowed him down,
Well,
so they can get on the fast break without Westbrook's defense being down there. But
if Westbrook made that layup, guess what? That play would have never happened.
But the thing is, you got to go 50-50 with it because you got to think about his past history.
Oh, I get it. I do
And he
understand.
did land on his knee area, and not his upper body.
But you could tell he landed soft. He didn't off
Did
the
you see
top
how he
ropes
fell?
elbow. Yeah, it was
See
like
how
the
he was
most
like,
uncoordinated. Like, let me just
Yeah.
kind of lay down slowly.
I'm going to throw out a timeline for you. 1992. 1992, the Dream Team came in. They showed basketball to the world. They said, this is how basketball is supposed to be played. And we all knew that the international game was a little bit softer than the American game. The streets, the hood, everything was represented in the 90s as far as basketball.
Yeah.
Fast forward 25 years later, and they've transformed into the bad boys of the NBA.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to say it because we got to be American, but if you look at it, Osman, we just watched him today for the Cavs. He went in the game for like 10 minutes. He had 4 fouls within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the type of defense he was playing. We got a bunch of these guys. What's his name? Steven Adams? He's not from America.
He's from Australia.
Right. Or I think, So I'm just saying, all these guys are coming in from different countries, are playing a harder style of basketball. They flipped the script on American basketball. Meanwhile, the AAU, no disrespect towards AAU, I know it breeds great competition and makes the game faster, makes better shooters. But the hot back three-pointer, get the free throw type of stuff has adapted into the American game, and the international game is a harder game now.
It's completely switched because the Euro League used to be the three-pointers, the jump shots, all that away from the rim.
Right.
Now it's going to the rim, and the Americans are going away from the rim. So it's completely flip-flopped. I agree with that as well.
It's the pussification of America.
Well, there's a straight up pussification across the board.
I'm going to bring it up multiple times during today's show. There's a complete pussification of America.
Complete pussification. I agree with you. So,
spell that.
P-U-S-S-I F-I-C-A-T-I-O-N. Boom, nailed it, I think. We'll have to replay this and I'll write it down.
There is a couple bad boys left, though, that reside. One from Flint, Michigan. His name is Draymond Green.
Yeah.
He, one technical away.
Was chippy all the way
Dude,
around.
I loved what he said, though, after the reporter asked him, how do you feel about getting a technical? And he's like, I don't even care. There's more things to worry about in life than a technical. I'm worried about my kids and raising them right than worried about a technical foul. Come on.
Yeah, that check still clears at the end of the day.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Once again, was a technical deserved? No, he wasn't standing over taunting the guy.
He was air fist.
Yes, to the crowd.
Right.
Okay, so technically it shouldn't have been a technical foul.
But
once again, the pussification of America comes into play.
Yeah.
You can't taunt your opponent.
History.
And history.
So just like with Zaza.
Well, he's one away now from. And then there was another little matchup going on. You see Melo and Durant bumping heads.
Yeah, that was good.
That put Durant at 12.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's at 12.
Durant's at 12.
He's at 12.
Wow.
They're getting closer and closer to that one-game suspension. And then after that, every 2 technical fouls is a one-game suspension.
Guys, remind me, as far as playoffs, does that go into the playoffs?
Yeah, it does.
So that's like the 1 year the Cavs
won.
Draymond was out the game.
Yep.
So
And
keep them coming, Draymond. Is what I'm a Cleveland fan.
Every two technicals after that 16th, it's a one-game suspension.
And I'm not a Cleveland fan where oh, LeBron came back. I'm a Cleveland fan from when Municipal Stadium, Cleveland Indians,
Price,
like Corey Snyder, like back then, like.
Are you talking baseball?
Baseball. I'm talking from like the point.
He's talking Cleveland all around.
All around. I'm talking.
What about Brooke Jacoby?
Look at this. They don't even sell these in stores. This is Bernie Kosar. The only time you see Bernie now is in like probably a Miller Lite commercial. But I'm saying like
and the sad thing is this is the best Browns quarterback of all time.
Regardless,
screw him. I got one too. Mine's
okay. We're gotta play with our toys. So, Cleveland, they played today.
Yeah.
They played against the Spurs. Clearly, the Spurs are coached 100% better than the Cleveland Cavaliers. Mm-hmm. This Tyronn Lue thing, I get he won a championship. He's not a good coach.
No,
he's a player's coach.
He's a player's coach. He's like LeBron. Here's the keys. Do what you want. But as far as adjustments, Popovich schooled him to a point because the Cavs were up in the first half.
You got to figure though, Tyronn Lue, he never really had any head coaching experience, so he was just an assistant coach. This whole time back and forth
on the go.
On multiple teams. But he was a player, so
he does know the game.
He does know the game, absolutely. I don't like him as a head coach as well. I just don't think
he doesn't make adjustments.
I don't think he has when he does make adjustments, they're too late.
I don't think
it's already happened. He missed the boat. Exactly. I agree with that 100%.
So, I don't think he has the nuts to coach a player like LeBron. Yeah. He's not going to sit there and tell LeBron, we're doing it this way.
There's a few coaches.
When he first started, he said there was a little altercation between the two of them.
Yeah.
It made you think that was going to be the case, but I don't think it's the case.
There's a few coaches in all major sports history that can do and say whatever they want to their star player. And there was only a select few. And Popovich won. Phil Jackson was another.
But Phil Jackson was smart about it. He did it like subconscious.
But still, he was one of them. Regardless how he did it, he wasn't
like this guy. He was a Zen master. He did it. He planted seeds. He gave them books. You know what I mean? He knew how to do it. He was more of a people manager than he was a coach. He had so much talent. He have the biggest wealth of talent you've ever seen as far as a coach. To go from that Jordan team.
Oh, absolutely. He was. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but he was also the luckiest coach in NBA history, in all history. Man.
I mean, if you gave Popovich Jordan and Pippen,
God, he shut it down.
And if you gave Pat Riley Jordan and Pippen,
or Shaq and Kobe,
Popovich has the balls to sit Tony Parker. Like Tony Parker, even though he's been playing forever, he's not old.
This is what I love about Popovich. Popovich can do whatever he wants on the Spurs. All right, so their star player Kawhi, he could miss a shot. He could take a shot 3 feet further than he was supposed to take that shot. Pop will rip him right out the game.
That don't happen anywhere else.
He'll come right out the game. He'll sit him for 5 minutes, or he'll sit him the rest of the quarter and then let him come back in later.
If that happened with LeBron, how fast would the coach be out of town?
Oh my God,
pretty damn fast. Pretty damn fast.
That would just be
by the end of the week.
So you're transitioning to this. We talked about Pop. What is going on with Kawhi?
I personally think, and there was rumblings of it earlier in the year, I think he wants out.
Why isn't they said he's cleared to come back?
Yeah.
He doesn't believe that
he's taken 10 days in New York away from the Spurs, but the Spurs have officials with him. But he's getting a second opinion in New York right now as we speak.
You don't feel 100%.
He doesn't feel 100%, and it's all about pain tolerance. How much pain he can go through depending on his cuts and jumps and everything. But another thing that came up in the discussions of the dysfunction between the Spurs and the disconnect there was his uncle took over the management side of things. So
who's uncle?
Kawhi's.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm saying. So I get that because they want him to play, but if you know your body and you feel that it's not 100%, then I get it. So like his next contract is going to be so stupid big. Like,
well, think about this now. The way the NBA today, with Kawhi going down and then DeMarcus Cousins going down, Porzingis going down.
What about Butler?
Jimmy Butler just recently going down. Those guys going down. It's at an alarming rate, and they're like serious injuries: an Achilles, ACLs, MCLs, now a meniscus with Butler. His season's in jeopardy. He just had surgery on the meniscus today, so he's out indefinitely.
I don't want to jinx it, but how is LeBron consistently.
Yeah.
His game is
impressive.
Well, we're going to find out because he just came off and made the statement today, I believe. He's not sitting out. No. He has no. That's how he's going to contribute by helping the team.
That's how he's going to lead.
That's how he's going to lead. He's not sitting out.
Because his minutes in reality against Memphis the other night. Memphis the other night they had the game locked up, right?
Well, Butler he plays the most minutes in the league. He's the highest
Jimmy
per
Butler.
minute. Jimmy Butler. Now, what were you saying about Memphis?
So I'm saying, why is LeBron, if they got Hood and they got Clarkson to supplement for LeBron, why is he still playing? He played 37 minutes in that game. Why, if you're up by 23 points, why the heck is LeBron still playing?
Just continue to build chemistry.
I get that, but build chemistry against the Spurs. Build chemistry against the Rockets.
You build chemistry against teams that you can build chemistry against. If you're trying to build chemistry against the Spurs, you're going to get blown out the gym because you're not going to have time.
Can I tell you this? A loss is not necessarily a bad thing.
But you're not going to have time to mess around.
Regular season losses. If you win 7, we know in the NBA you win 50 games, you're going to playoffs. Okay. So you know the Cavs, just by having LBJ on the team, you're getting 50 games. No. So being in there for the Spurs and the Rockets and the Warriors or whatever, that you're learning more. The greatest teacher in life is experience. So I'm saying, if he goes through this and he deals this, what are you getting out of beating the Nets by 30? Like, what the hell?
There's a reason behind this, because the Warriors just showed this against the Suns. They had players drawing up plays, right? Because they can do things that they haven't been able to do against bigger teams that are actually good compared to lower teams. These are strategies that are going to be used later on into the playoffs. So with them playing Memphis and beating Memphis, however they actually lost to Memphis.
No, the Cavs beat Memphis.
They beat Memphis? Yeah, who did they just recently lose to?
San Antonio.
And who's the other team?
Washington. But John Wall's back, right?
They can build new plays against these lower level teams to use later on, so to try them.
I see both sides of what Brock's trying to say, and I see exactly what you're trying to say. What you're trying to say is you don't want to try to build chemistry against a team that already has well-developed chemistry because you're going to get your butt handed to you. And what Brock's saying is if LeBron's not taking a game off here and there, maybe in those winnable games you need to sit your ass down for a little bit and let the
learn how to
the rest of the team get some
even
chemistry.
With Kyrie, you can this
before. We're only halfway through.
Even with Kyrie, who's he's a
4 games. That's all it's been.
So even with Kyrie.
And it ain't been on the way out.
They had Kyrie. He's an assassin as far as a scorer. Yeah. But even when he was on the floor with the Cavs, you seen how much it changed as soon as LeBron went out. It was sad. It was to the point of unbearable to watch.
It's because LeBron's a coach on the court.
I get that. You got to learn how to play
with the Houston Rockets when Harden would go out and they didn't have Chris Paul or anybody else
after
to
those
score.
First,
it was just whoa.
After the trade, those first 2 games, they're interviewing LeBron after the game. He has no voice because he is literally on the court screaming what to do and how. He's a coach on the court. They kind of need him playing, especially this early after that trade. I do, like I said, I do understand where you're coming from because he's gelling a team and he calls it his team. Right. You know what I mean? So that's what's going on right now. I'm hoping 3/4 of the way through that he kind of starts taking a back seat and starts coaching a little bit, especially in winnable games. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so. There's other coaches we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Houston. We're going to talk about D'Antoni. Is Mike D'Antoni at the point now where they're going to play defense and they're going to win a title? Is that the team? We're going to talk about this coming on our next video on our podcast. And you Houston fans and you Cavs fans. We'll be right back after this on 3 Point View.